recap.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
What?
Can y'all hear me okay now?
Yes.
Hey, there you are.
Yep.
Okay, see.
We just started recording, by the way. 11 seconds in. The perfect time for your mic to start working. Okay, so recap. You are a band of heroes here for various reasons. You came to the town at the beginning of the Swallowtail Festival. The Swallowtail Festival is an annual, event honoring goddess Desna that happens in Sandpoint, every year in the fall. This year they were celebrating the grand opening of a brand new cathedral. 5 years ago, their old cathedral was burned to the ground, killing the priest at the time, Father Ezekiel Tobin, and his adopted daughter, Nualia. Nualia Tobin, I assume. I don't think it actually says that in the book. While y'all were at this festival, you were attacked by goblins. The entire festival was attacked by goblins. A few people were killed. I think I said 7 people were killed in town. I'm not completely sure on the number. But yeah, a few people were killed, but mostly y'all came out on top. Y'all killed several goblins. Y'all saved Aldern Foxglove and one of his dogs. Aldern has, in turn, tried to befriend you and is offering to take y'all on a boar trip tomorrow. A boar hunt tomorrow.
Didn't Argus want to kill him for that?
Yes, Argus wanted to kill him. Yes, Argus threatened him because he wants to go hunt a boar and bring it back to feed the town.
It had nothing to do with the fact that he didn't say what he wanted to do with it. He was just like, let's go randomly kill a boar. Let's go destroy nature. I mean, of course the druid's going to be pissed off. It's lucky I just stabbed him.
Stabby.
Don't worry. I'll entangle him in some vines.
Let's see. What else happened? Oh, y'all investigated a disturbance at Ezekiel Tobin's crypt, where y'all found 2 skeletons who were the raised remains of a couple of Tobin's acolytes. You also found a discarded robe. It was a robe of bones, a necromantic tool where you can use patches on the cloak to summon skeletons and undead creatures.
Jeremy, can I interrupt real quick and ask a question?
Yeah.
Was that just like they discarded the robe because it was like finished with, right?
Right.
Okay.
It was done, so they just left it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was done and torn. If you remember that, it was torn.
Yeah, I remember it being torn. I just didn't know if there were still uses on it or not.
Yeah. So no, it was finished with. So yeah, that was left behind, and the tear in the robes actually, or the tear, I think, yeah, it's robes. The tear in the robes actually matched a piece of fabric that Musashi found outside the gate just after the attack on Sandpoint. Y'all traced that back to Verna's fine clothing, where she told you that specific garment was made by her mother for Atsui Kaijitsu, the deceased wife of Lanjaku Kaijitsu and mother of Suto and Amiko. She also told you that Suto and Amiko are half-siblings, Amiko being the product of an affair between Atsui and an unknown elvish man.
You mean to Sudo, right? Being an affair, not Amiko.
Right, I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Atsui had an affair with an unknown elvish man and gave birth to Sudo. Yes.
And we haven't met Sudo yet, right?
Correct.
We only know of him by asking about the family, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Can anybody think of anything I'm missing?
Not that I can think of. Excuse me.
Okay. All right. So, when y'all last left...
Did we go over predictions already, like you were telling me about, or no?
Oh no, I mean that's just I'm gonna keep that on my
Okay.
in my email,
Okay.
and I'll let y'all know when you're right or wrong.
Oh no, I thought we were getting hero points.
Oh yeah, when you're right or wrong, you'll get the hero point.
Okay.
Yeah, because I could tell you now is like, hey, this person predicted this and they're right, but then I'm just giving away half the book.
No, I know. I was just curious if I got a hero point.
So what were hero points used for again?
Hero points. I have a document for this actually. Hero points do a few things.
Didn't you post it in Skype?
Did you?
Did I post it? I think I posted it in Skype actually. Yeah, you're right.
The wrong button.
Or was that just on Facebook?
I think I posted the link in Skype at least. Bottle caps right here. Boom.
Okay, the bottle caps thing.
Yes, sir. Hero points our bottle caps are our word for hero points.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, they do a handful of things. Look at that. All right. When we last left our intrepid band of heroes, they were arriving at the Sandpoint garrison to talk with a goblin that was captured in the Sandpoint raid. I have retconned a little bit about Shalelu Andalusa being there. I messed up in my notes. She's not supposed to be in town quite yet. So
Okay. Is she the one that we walked by last time, or she's actually in there? Because we walked by somebody.
I don't remember.
Because we walked by somebody, and I asked Aldern who it was, and it was somebody.
Oh,
I don't.
No, that was that dude's daughter who was like, ooh.
Oh yeah. Shayla Svender.
Yeah, that's it. Shayla Svinda.
I think he was attracted to one of us. I think it was
Ben's daughter.
I forget who it was.
Yeah,
I think it was you.
She
Okay,
definitely
so-
has an interest in someone. Yeah, at least
So
one
she
of-
walked by. All right. So he's just in here by himself with the goblin.
Yep.
Okay. In that case, I'm
So,
gonna tell Musashi that we should probably hang back and let Argus handle this. I don't think this goblin's gonna respond well to seeing the two of us.
Yeah, that might be a good thing to not surprise him again. He may piss himself.
Belor Hemlock's in there too. I know I don't have his token down. I'll
We-
fix that. But
We would not like the goblin to piss himself. Okay.
What was that?
yes,
Don't
I
want the goblin to piss himself.
look. I'm the only one on staff today. I don't want to have to clean it up. All my men are busy out in town. If y'all could just, keep it clean, please. I
Well,
don't like bloodstains on the stone.
I was going to
Don't
say,
worry.
you were nice enough to clean that up for me last time.
I'm pretty decent at this. I can get the goblin to talk without having to stab him in his leg.
All
Okay, so
right,
who-
I will
who's
concede
the
this
guard?
time.
Who's the guard that's here?
The guard is Belor Hemlock.
Okay, so this is the sheriff.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's there with you.
I'm gonna move to the goblin, and I'm bringing Stompy with me since you just rudely left him outside. What was the goblin's name? I don't remember.
You haven't asked it yet. Nobody's figured that out.
Okay. Okay. Anybody want to do anything before I start this?
Nah, we're pretty much getting near the door and trying to listen.
Yeah.
Do you need guidance or something?
No, I think that should be good. I think I'm okay.
Good, because I can't cast it.
As you get close to the bars,
I can do it on myself.
the goblins, his head perks up and he starts sniffing at the air from the corner of his cell and starts to lean forward just a little bit.
Hi, my friend.
Hello.
Who are you?
I'm Stimpy.
How are you doing? Okay. I see you're bleeding.
It's all right. One of the guards bandaged me up. Do I smell pickles?
You smell all types of good stuff. But first, I want to give you some rules because I'm not going to talk outside of a cage. Is it okay if I come in?
He looks up I'm okay with it. And Belor
Okay.
nods
Well,
at you.
listen very carefully. My name is Argus, and this wonderful thing behind me, his name is Stompy. If you try to hurt me, he will eat you.
Okay.
Do we have a deal?
Yes.
Okay. So we move into the cage.
All right. He doesn't move to attack. He still hasn't quite moved out of his corner. He's he was leaning forward with you at the bars, but now as you step in, he kind of cowers back a little bit.
Oh, don't be scared, my friend. We're not here to hurt you. I have.
You're here with those guys. They hurt me last time.
Those guys are different. I'm nicer.
I assume Musashi and I are staying out of sight here.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of the door, kind of out of the way, trying to listen.
Okay.
I mean, you have to understand. You attack the town. Of course, you're going to get hurt and get in some big trouble. But anyway, I have pickles and saltfish and vinegar and all your favorites. But if you want them, you have to give me some information.
I already told him everything I know. I didn't even want to attack the town. I just want to go home.
Okay. Well, I know you're from Thistletop, according to your markings. Correct?
Yes.
Now, why would Thistletop want to attack this sweet little town?
It was the Longshanks' idea. They said there was something that they needed. Something they had to get from the boneyard.
Something they had to get from the boneyard.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, in the graves, we noticed. What we noticed? We noticed. Somebody help me here. One tomb had no skeleton, and then another tomb.
Two of the tombs had been desecrated. The inhabitants had been raised from the dead.
Okay.
One of the tombs was empty and was supposed to be that way. That was Nualia's
and the other
sarcophagus.
tomb was broken into, which was the priest, right?
Right, and it was also empty.
Okay. Do you know what they wanted to do with the remains that they got from the graveyard?
No.
And you said they Longshanks. How many's they?
I've seen. I think I've seen two.
Oh, okay. Here's your pickle.
And he grabs it and hungrily just scarfs it down. Like so fast you don't even know if you choose it. If you choose it, it just kind of slides down his throat.
And as he eats the pickle, I'm pouring a thing of vinegar. And supposedly goblins like stuff like this. So
his eyes get really big.
So you're from Thistletop, and then we had other goblins. Why are we working together?
I mean, they started showing up one day. I don't really know why, but we were told not to fight. We were told by the leaders, by Gresgert and the others, that we weren't to fight right now.
What other leaders are there?
Give me a second on that.
If you need me to roll anything, you have to let me know, Jeremy.
Yeah, let's go ahead and roll a diplomacy. Actually, let's get that going while for the answer to your question.
Is there anything?
Did I hear him say Graco?
I think you heard him say Gresgert.
Gresgert. Okay.
I'm going to And Gresgert, is he a goblin hero or is he a commander?
He's a hero.
Okay. I'm going to take the glass of vinegar and one of the things of the saltfish, and I'm gonna hold them to him. Will that help my diplomacy any at all?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and give you I'm gonna give you a +4 for your kindness to him so far.
Okay. And if anybody wants to aid me, instead of the normal 10, you have to do a 15 because of my thing I had to take.
Okay.
I don't think we can aid you outside the door.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
I pretty much got to stay out of view, otherwise he's gonna freak out.
Diplomacy's what, charisma?
Yeah.
So that's a natural 19 minus 1, which is an 18 plus 4.
+4. Okay, so that's a 22.
22.
Yeah, damn it, I can't find it. So give me just a couple more seconds. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna mute myself so I don't munch in your ear.
You're all right. All right, Goblin Heroes. He all right, he can tell you. All right. I mean, Gresgert was one of our heroes. He was
one of the heroes. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, my friend. One of the ones for Thistletop.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah, yes.
Thistletop. Okay.
Yes. And he worked with one from Mosswood, a big Gugmut. He was a really tall and muscular goblin. That the people said that his mother was a hobgoblin and his father was a boar.
Can I roll anything to see if it's actually a goblin?
I think he's a bugbear.
Okay. Well,
I mean, he is of a goblin subtype.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think he's a bugbear.
He was with the moss eaters.
Mosswood.
Okay. I'm sorry. So that's 2, and there's what, 7 tribes that are working together if I count right?
I mean, there's a bunch. I don't know them all, but
okay.
It was Rip Nugget. He was stronger than Gresgert. He was the head of, or the second strongest of the heroes.
Because Thistletop is the strongest, correct?
Well, I mean, he was the leader of Thistletop. He was ahead of Gresgert, but Gresgert was my commander. He gave me my orders.
Okay.
And those are the ones that I can tell you about. There were others. I saw them. One big one that had an extra arm. And then there was a really strong bugbear there too. And I don't know any more names. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, that's fine, my friend. That's a lot of information. I give him the vinegar and the fish.
Yeah, he chugs the vinegar and is trying to eat the fish at the same time. It's getting filthy, but it's okay. He'll eat it off his clothes later.
So now I pull out the full jar of pickles, the full thing of vinegar, and all of the saltfish that I have, and I set it there. You like this?
I love it.
This is all yours. If you can answer all of my next questions with no trouble.
Oh shit. I'll try.
He's much better at interrogating than I am.
So we know that the front gate was broken because one of my friends found it. How else did you get in the city? All of you couldn't have come through the front gate because you were spread out too far apart.
Well, some of us came over the southern wall, down through down by the trees. My troop came in through Junkers Canyon. Not Junkers Canyon. Junkers Ridge. We came up off the beach.
You climbed the ridge? You come through tunnels?
There's a path.
Okay. And any other way? Y'all just seem to cover the city very, very fastly.
Well, I mean, we are rather adept climbers. There were some coming over the walls in many places.
I feel like he's holding information out. I'm
sense motive.
So,
Just sense motive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll a sense motive, but as I'm rolling it, I'm going to take something back. So is that going to help me any?
Yeah. I mean, I will go ahead and roll. And I'll...
Okay. And that's charisma also, right?
Yeah.
That is a 14 minus 1, so that's a 13.
Yeah. As best as you can tell, he's really trying to answer your questions. He's He's kind of desperate. You can tell. Like, I mean, his legs are bandaged. He was hurt, in the attack. I don't think the guards have been very very nice to him. He's scared. Like he's trying to be forthright, as far as you can tell.
I'll push it back in sight then.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about these Longshanks. Do you know what they look like? Can you give me a description?
One was a.
Do you know where Hallie's medicine is?
No idea.
Okay.
One was a big male human with really short hair and a broad nose. He wore armor.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a tall, thin one with some pointy ears and dark hair.
And was this one also male?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
I think so.
And
long
they're
she's looking like.
Yeah, how long she look like?
So you're racist, my friend.
No. I mean, look, you grow up seeing nothing but goblins, and then you see things that aren't goblins, and they all look the same, right?
That's fine, my friend. That's fine. I won't judge you. So he couldn't tell if they're male, female. He knows one's definitely a male, and then one's just something.
Yeah, one was definitely a male, and one was at least enough ambiguous enough that he couldn't tell. Yeah.
Do you know their names?
We never told their names.
Question, I'm putting my hands around the stuff to see how important this is.
We never got told their names.
I'm gonna roll another sense motive. That's a freaking natural 20, Jared.
He is 100% telling you the truth.
Okay.
I mean, you are asking a low-ranking goblin, sensitive information about like who are
goblins are nosy. So,
do what?
Goblins are nosy.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's true, but Thistletop's also a big place.
True.
I didn't think he had much more to offer.
Yeah, I mean he's got a bit. I'm still giving y'all probably more than I should, but.
So it sounds like, my friend, that all these goblins came together, and they moved into your base at Thistletop. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of goblins at Thistletop right now. Probably too many for my friends to handle.
Well, yeah. And he's squaring his shoulders back. There's a whole bunch of them. Whole bunch of us. Yeah.
Because y'all are the strongest group.
We are.
They
all came to us for protection.
Yeah.
I gotta say goodnight to the kids while you're interrogating. I'll be right back.
Okay. I know they did. I fought a couple of Thistletop goblins before. Y'all are pretty strong.
We're the strongest. We're the best fighters.
Do you have anything you need to know, Musashi, that we would have talked about beforehand?
Well, he doesn't know much about the Longshanks in that one. That's why we're trying to figure out where they were.
And we don't Thistletop at this point. Like,
yeah, and when we interrogated him last time, pretty much all we could tell is that he worked with humans and he worked with everyone else. But we didn't get like fine details like what clan he was from. We didn't know about clans or any of that. It's just a goblin to us. So we didn't really.
So now we know at least one of the Longshanks he's working with is either elf or half elf because of the long pointy ears.
Yep.
And the other one's pretty big. I'd probably assume like a human for that one.
That would be my guess.
My friend, one more time. You come into the city to create a distraction so a small group can go to our boneyard and steal something from it. Correct?
Yeah, yes.
And you assume what they stole is bones or treasure or something like that, correct?
I assumed treasure, yes.
And is this treasure or whatever they took, how important is it to them? What did they plan on doing? Do you know?
They just said it was important for what comes next.
Okay. When Devin gets back, I just want to see if he needs me to figure anything out from what we have. As we're doing this, I'm going to approach the goblin. My friend, let me see your legs, please.
Yeah, he leans back and lets you go, see his wounds.
I am sorry that you were treated this way, and I cast Cure Life.
All right, yeah, his
Can we just say max heal?
cuts, his cuts stitch back up, and he I don't know, I don't feel like rolling, so I'm just gonna assume that you roll, healed him for max.
Okay.
He's fine.
Yeah, I didn't roll. That's what I was saying. Can we just say max heal?
Yeah.
Now, this is all yours, as I promised. But I want to do one more thing for you. You won't cause any trouble in this cell, will you?
No.
So I call Baylor over. It's Sheriff Baylor, right?
Yeah, Sheriff Bellor.
Okay.
Yes. Has he been cooperative?
He has been very cooperative, my sheriff friend. But I don't like the way he looks. He's been beaten and broken, and I don't think it's fair. He gave me information I need, but we treat him worse than we treat anybody else, just because he was told to do something. As you're told to go to war, he was told to go to war. I don't find it fair. You have to give him better treatment, or you will have problems.
Problems. Well, look, they brought
At
their
this
whole
point, Stompy
clan.
looks at him and growls because he's coming off aggressive.
Yeah. He's a little, he backs away from the raptor, but look, they brought their whole clan, and I mean, they couldn't do anything to us then. I don't think they're a threat.
Fair treatment. No more.
Look,
Must keep him.
Look, I mean, he's a goblin.
It's worth the information we got to fix and save the town.
Fine.
If I have to roll for him, you gotta let me know.
He'll, let's roll a diplomacy against.
Natural 17 minus 1. That's a 16.
Yeah, he really said, fine. We'll give him a bed and maybe some food.
No.
Or
we'll food.
Fine.
Or we can do this my way.
Devin, you back?
And what's your way?
Well,
Yeah.
in
Do you have anything before I leave to ask him?
yeah,
Nope.
go ahead.
Nope.
Figure that out first.
No, Cordova's stopped paying attention at this point. He's not picking anything up from this goblin.
Okay.
Um,
Cool. So I'm done.
What? Yeah, I'm sorry, Musashi. Though, what's your way?
Well, my way probably won't go over too well, but what I have had to do in the past for people that lack information or lack what we need, we use them as a messenger. Basically, we release them and make them assume that they're going to die. And what do? They run scurrying back to their location and lead us right to where we want to find.
Yes.
But
no.
that
Please
usually
don't make
involve
me go back.
Hang on, Musashi.
That would usually involve an arrow or two into a leg, but I feel a bit
We
generous
left
now.
away from this cell, right? We're done.
Yeah, if y'all are far enough away from the cell, then
Yeah, I'll scoot on.
Stimpy didn't hear that.
I look at him, and I'm like, we let him go. He runs back, and he tells everybody that at some point, we're on our way there. They beef up all their security. They create a whole bunch of obstacles for us. Or worse yet, they ransack the town again while we're trying to figure things out. I say we keep him and treat him nice. And maybe later we can use him.
Well, like I said, my method usually doesn't work out too well because the last times I had to use that, I kind of had to eradicate the town that I found, but that's a bit of a different story.
Yeah, Belor
So-
gives you a little bit of a sideways look at that. He's like, huh. And
But-
So,
I never said
So
it
what
would
we
work
learned-
right.
I don't know if you were here for it, but what we learned, like I don't know if you're here for everything, is that there were multiple entrances, so there's probably like a tunnel or something that this group came from somewhere.
The first light.
Yeah, and
Is that
that
what it's called, Jeremy?
No, Junkers.
The old
something.
light.
The old light.
You're thinking of the old light, but yeah, they came up through through Junker's cliff.
Yeah, I heard that.
Junkers. Yeah.
Okay. And were you here for when he was describing the other two? Like
He said
you know,
one
that
is an
they're-
elf.
Yeah, one of them's either an elf or a half elf, and the other one's probably
Yep.
human with how broad he is. And there's a couple of champions, a bugbear, and a couple of other big goblins. One
Yeah.
has a different arm and stuff like that. That's probably a Thistletop, so I don't know if y'all are thinking of going there, but I probably wouldn't at this point. I would do more searching around the town and see where, maybe go look at Junker's Cave and see where they came in at. Maybe there's something down there. But we're also here because the sheriff wanted to talk to you, so.
To me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sheriff wanted to talk to, well, really all of y'all, but yeah. He needs to sit down with Cordova and, Musashi, and he needs to know, what, look. He's talking to Cordova first. You definitely arrived at this town under some mysterious circumstances. You surprised us, to say the least. But your first act was to escape from police custody. Your second act was to save the town. Now, in my opinion, that one hand washes the other. You're fine. But I need to know what you're doing here and where you came from. What kind of man are you to step up and attract the admiration of all these fine people?
The admiration. I don't know where you get that from, but
have you not heard?
heard what?
The town is abuzz with you and your little team. They love you.
Me, my team.
I wouldn't call us a team.
They've seen you drinking in the pub. They saw you handle the goblins together. Y'all are a group. You and your captain, and he points to Musashi. Y'all definitely work together in the eyes of my people.
Cordova's like, Sheriff, when we first met, I told you that I was here to save the world. That,
Yes, a rather weird thing to say.
that hasn't changed. My colleagues, I wouldn't say my team, but we're sworn now to defend the world. And what you need to know about me is that I've come a very long way to do so.
I would not consider myself a captain by any means.
You've
Not
definitely taken
anymore.
charge of the situation here. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have learned about that robe. I wouldn't have known that there was a man on the inside that must have busted open the gate. You've spearheaded this investigation. With an what's the word I'm looking for?
Gusto.
Gusto. Yeah, there we go. That's a good word. With gusto. You've taken quite a hands-on approach for a man who I've never seen around this town before. What makes you feel such a sense of responsibility?
Well, without going too much into it, let's just say in the past, I've done a lot of terrible, terrible things. And after learning how terrible it truly was, some people have shown me that there's a better way to do things. So I'm trying to learn that better way to do things. And one of which was to maybe instead of destroy people, maybe help them. But at the plus side,
Guess we're
I'm
still
still a
working.
creature of habits. So finding people that are trying to murder me, get my just deserves against them. It's still kind of hand in hand, and I still need to watch my back, hence searching the town and finding whatever tried to kill me. And I'm trying not to take the step forward of just going and destroying them to be done with it, but our good buddy Argus here is trying to be the good angel on my shoulder here.
Yes, we're familiar with Argus. He's quite a nice fellow. He's been around town for some time.
Town drug dealer.
We've all been involved with him at some point or another. And he looks over at Argus, and he taps his nose and nods at you.
Argus nods back, and he just
thumbs up. He's like, all right.
When we're done.
So
sorry, I thought I heard a gunshot a second ago.
All right. Well, I want you to know that it's definitely appreciated. Your presence in town. We definitely appreciate your presence in town, and I would like it very much if you could stay around for a little while until we can get this whole matter under wraps.
We hadn't planned on leaving anytime soon.
Good.
Kind of look at Cordova. I'm more following him around because he's kind of become interesting.
Yes, I definitely want to learn more about this man. He looks at looking at Cordova. We'll have time. In the meantime,
you might catch a glimpse of him glitching a little bit.
Yeah. In the meantime, I've noticed that you are under-provisioned. We have some extra leather armor, some bows and short swords in the back. Please feel free to grab what you need. I mean, within reason. And that goes for both of you as well. Argus and Musashi. Just if you need more arrows or rations, grab some. I'd say mechanically, this is story reason for Cordova to get the rest of the things on his prep list.
All I need is a light crossbow. I have a heavy crossbow. I'm going to swap it out for a light crossbow if they have that in the back.
Absolutely.
Let's see, the light crossbow is probably worse than my longbow, isn't it?
I would stick with your longbow.
Yeah, that's my guess.
That's what I was thinking. For you two, like if you want to change out like sword for a sword or a bow for a bow, y'all can do that.
No. Does he have daggers? Like, can I take one dagger?
Yeah. He's got a little belt of daggers. It holds 5 of them. He gives it to you.
You know what? I'll pocket a dagger as well. Just not for battle, but to have.
All right. Yeah.
Let's see. I'll ask him maybe. Mind if I grab a couple of spare arrows and a couple more rations for the road?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I say we leave. Is this something we can come back to at a later date to pick up too?
No, this is gonna be a one-time thing.
So like,
one-time gift.
If we decide to leave the town, we couldn't come back and gather rations. Like we couldn't hold them off. Like ask him to because there's no need for us to have rations since we're still in a town.
I don't think he has food rations. I think he's talking about armor and stuff, man.
Well, I mean, I was thinking food rations,
okay.
But I mean, because they would have it stocked. They feed the prisoners. But yeah, I mean, we'll just go with that. That'll be because I was wondering how to treat rations with y'all. Anyways, we'll just say that y'all,
See, what I was thinking is that I was going to leave some at my hotel room.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Like a stash.
But yeah, look, as long as y'all agree to be, representatives of the Sandpoint garrison, y'all can take as many rations as you want. Come back daily and take your fill.
Okay. So when he says that, Argus goes over and grabs about 10 of them and gives it back to the goblin.
Yeah, when he said to be members of the Sandpoint garrison, that caught Cordova. I'm now looking to see if I can swap the leather armor I've got for a Sandpoint leather armor, something that's got the sigil for the city.
See, I was gonna ask for a badge.
A badge. Do I find that?
My badge has to be made special. It can't be made out of metal.
Wooden badge.
Well,
he gives you one fashioned out of popsicle sticks that was made for by a kid in town.
And then I take the other badge and I give it to Stompy. Here you
It's
go,
his
buddy.
little deputy on it.
Yeah.
well, if we were to represent you, as you say, is there any kind of documentations or something that could potentially not get us in trouble with your own men?
These badges.
I think everybody in town knows who we
Yeah,
are. So
I know.
Yeah.
I want something more to flash like a badge of power to be like, here, fear this kind of a thing.
Look, we're not the FBI, man.
I'm wearing a leather armor with the sigil on it now, so I think we're okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll say that's what he gives y'all. He gives y'all all, like you have the leather armor with the sigil, and the rest of you, he gives you some kind of patch, or for Argus, he's like here's a stick, badge.
Here's a stick. There you
badge
go.
shaped like
I can take
a
the
badge made out of sticks.
I'm good with the patch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
leather patch is probably
Yeah.
good.
If he gives me a popsicle stick badge, his price is going up.
Okay, so we have a lot of open-ended stuff going on here.
Yeah.
From the
all right.
missing signet ring to this magic school to this pseudo guy. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is can we take a room just for us and go over what we have in here
Yeah.
without the sheriff being involved at all?
What about Alder and Foxglove, our good friend?
Yeah. Alder's still sitting here like, so, you guys want to go back out to the town?
Is it okay if we wrap up some loose ends real quick so we can and then we can do whatever you want, Foxglove man.
Sure. And he's,
I don't know why you make gloves of foxes, but
Oh wait, no, that's not his name. Yes, that's just fine. Well, I'll just wait here, and maybe I'll go talk to our sheriff friend. And he goes over and Belor gives a yes, all done.
I'm going into the map room. Come on, Stumpy.
All right. Yeah.
Are you sure we can trust Stumpy? Stompy?
Yeah, I think we can trust him.
Is he gonna eat everything?
He's had everybody's back.
That's fair.
Okay, so let's go over our open ends here because I have really crappy notes. I have people's name and who they are, and that's about it.
Okay, my open ends. There's a missing signet ring.
Mhm.
No, we learned that the signet ring was Father Ezekiel's.
Mm-hmm. Ezekiel.
That's the guy's bones that we took, right?
Well,
Or that's the guy's whatever they took.
yeah,
Right.
that are missing.
So
Yeah, they took his
Father
bones.
Xanthus said that signet ring was on display.
Wait,
It's like
is it?
it's like passed down
Yeah,
from head of the church to the head of the church.
Okay, so who's got it now?
He does.
Xanthus.
Xanthus.
Oh, Xanthus has it. Okay, then why did I have a note about a signet ring?
Because it was brought up and we thought that might have been what was taken. And then when we talked to Xanthus, he told us that it's passed down from the head of the church to the head of the church.
Gotcha.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's not even an open end then. It's just a ring I have
It's-
written down.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
What about
The other thing I'm interested in is Amiko's mom, Atsui. She had an
Yes.
affair with an elf, which led to the birth of Suto. And now we have a tall, thin, pointy-eared, dark-haired man who is a potential Longshanks for these goblins. And I'm thinking
Well-
that's either Suto or it's the man she had an affair with.
Okay, we're not sure if you remember, the goblin said he couldn't tell if it was male or female.
Yeah.
I mean, we can assume that it's male and assume that it's pseudo.
Mhm.
So we know that she had an affair. Pseudo was born. That's the disgrace on the family, I assume. And then the mom
Yep.
committed suicide, right?
Think so?
Isn't that how it went, Jeremy? So that's going to be a question for Miko. And remember, you said you wanted to do something with her to get that information, to get a little bit more information.
Okay. You're on the right track. Most of the information that you said is what I have said. Yes.
Okay. And then, did he leave?
Yeah, he'll be back in a second.
Okay. Because I have one open end that I want to ask y'all about, but it's kind of meta gaming. Is that going to be okay, Jeremy?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Do you have anything, Josh? Is it cool if I call you Josh?
Yeah, that's fine. I have no problems with that.
What I miss?
Nothing. We stopped and waited for you.
Okay.
Yeah, what other open end things do you have, Devin?
I want to go to the school,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to go to the old light. I want to know more about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I want to know what happened to the. I want to know where the girl, the fire. He said the fire originated and she died and they never found her body, and I'm still very concerned about that. I don't know if I should be or not.
so that's going to lead me into my open end, and you tell me what you're thinking on this. The fire originated in a room that I'm assuming was like something to fuel the fire. They don't know the exact room because we've asked several times.
Yeah, and they kind of go,
Yeah, and then they're like, oh well, her body was at the start, so the hottest point of the fire. So I don't think she's dead.
Right.
I think she's still alive because if you remember, she had a baby, right?
Right.
Yep.
The demon baby.
We're assuming a demon baby, a disformed baby, something along those lines.
It had hooves.
So, it had hooves. I don't remember.
It's
that
a
part.
demon baby.
So,
it's
so
demon
if
baby.
we know that, right? We know she had a demon baby. The town pretty much killed it. So if she's alive, maybe that's why the attacks on this town are happening.
To be clear, you said the town killed it. That is an interpretation and not what anybody has said. And in fact, Xanthus's exact words were, "The baby was born still."
That's true. He did say that.
Okay. So I'm taking it as an interpretation. This is me taking it as an interpretation.
Okay.
So either the baby was born still or the town killed it because it was deformed and it was a demon baby. Now, why would she have a demon baby? Well, we know the types of magic that's in Pathfinders, which is the metagaming, and we know that there is necromancy, which is a dark type of magic. So I think she was a necromancer, which is why you want to go to the School of Magic, right?
Or Suto was a necromancer and using her to experiment.
See, I think the baby's father is Suto.
That could be.
Because if there's two people involved, we know one's an elf and we know one's another person, right? Now let's just assume that she was an elf too.
But she was an Aesimer.
Was she?
Yeah.
Yes, she's.
And that's
See,
a
I
huge.
have elf written down.
That's a huge deal for an Aesimer because an Aesimer is basically an angel. So.
They're divinely touched beings. They're not necessarily angels. They're divinely touched beings.
Basically an angel.
Okay,
they can fly when they get angel wings. They're basically angels.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but still, like, what are demons? Demons are corrupt angels. Like,
sure.
So anyway,
divinely touched beings can be. Yeah. Sorry.
So I still think I think Pseudo was the father of the baby. So I think that these two are working together and extracting revenge on Sandpoint.
They could be our Longshanks pair.
They could be our Longshanks pair. Now, also, whatever they took the bones, right?
Mm-hmm.
They took his remains from the tomb, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking that's being used in a ritual of some kind. Not like bringing him back to life ritual, but like a sacrificial ritual, like a holy symbol being sacrificed to like this god crazy demonic power. So you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but where did the goblins come into play? Why team up with goblins?
Because goblins are a known enemy. There are tons of them.
They provide cover while they do what they did.
They provide the cover, and they're just a nuisance. Like they're the perfect cover. They're the nuisance. Okay. They're like rats.
I don't think that these two Longshanks we're looking for are going to be at Thistletown.
I think they are.
I don't think they are. I think they're going to be somewhere else. I think the old light is worth investigating, and maybe the school. If we could find more information about Suto.
I think the old light is worth investigating because it's going to put one of your open ends at an end or give us another starting point to go to.
Mm-hmm.
But I really think like this is evolving around Suto. Like we've heard a lot about him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the only person we haven't met, and this is metagaming, so obviously there might be something there.
Right.
I think when you do your crafting thing with Amiko, that might be something to bring up to find out more of who he is.
Right. Now, do we know that her mother committed suicide?
Yeah, her mother committed suicide. She like jumped, didn't she, Jeremy? Didn't she like
What
jump
y'all
off?
know? What y'all know is that her mother is dead by apparent suicide. She was found on the rocks, at below a cliff that their manor sits at the edge of.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now I'm concerned that it wasn't a suicide.
Yeah,
Nothing is what I
that's
think it
my
is.
thoughts.
And that's
And her
another
father?
person we should probably we haven't met him, but we know that he's a town founder. That's somebody else we need to go talk to or run into.
Okay, so I wanted to talk to Amiko, but now I'm concerned that she's going to think we're investigating her family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because obviously people know us and they know we're investigating things. So I'm not really sure how to approach her now.
and that's something we can think about.
Mm.
We could bring it up as, hey, we know like your family started the town. Like, what's your family history? Just curious, because she's already talked to us about her family. That's how we know about her dad and her mom and her brother.
We could also approach it too that we've heard some odd things while we're investigating everything else. Can you tell us something to why it is odd or isn't odd?
I think as we're going to like the lighthouse, like you want to, and what was the other place you wanted to go to?
I forgot now you said that. Oh, the school.
The school.
Tyrannosaurus Academy.
Argus won't go to that school with you. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that. And that has, you can ask me why when we decide to go. You can ask me why, but I will not go to that school with you.
Okay.
I think we need to do more searching around the town because I feel like the goblin was honest, but I feel like there's something that how the goblins were spaced and it was described. I think there's like a hidden tunnel, hidden something somewhere.
That's what I think we're going to find in the old light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to find it in the old light, but I'm more than happy to go check it out. I think there's like something bigger than that.
Okay.
But we can check, like, yeah. So I'm cool with doing whatever. You want to go check out the old light? We can go check out the old light. But I want to know more about like rituals that you can use bodies with. That would go back to what, Father Xanthus?
Mm-hmm. Or you could ask the people at the academy,
right,
who would probably be more familiar with types of magic and what they do.
And that's something you can do. I'm not, like, when you ask me, you'll understand. I'm not going back to that academy.
Okay, fair.
I'm not going to that academy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Cordova and Argus are having a very heated argument about we need to go to this academy. I'm not going to this academy.
You go do what you want, Cordova. So what are y'all?
So I'm going to drag you into the academy. Got it.
Are we all kind of on the same idea here, or do y'all have different ideas and I'm just?
No, we're on the same page.
Okay.
Yep.
We're basically trying to track down Suto. That's basically what it boils down to here.
See,
and to
I
me,
agree with
it's
tracking
follow
down Suto,
everything we can find.
I think Suto is going to be a henchman. Like, I think Nalia is going to be our main person.
Noelia, the one that was never found.
Nalia.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think Noelia is. Well, okay, I see what you're saying.
I mean, there's no proof of death, and then
you're right.
Her bones are where the fire
I'm confusing
started.
people. I'm just
Yep.
so many names. Yeah. Okay, fair. What's the next move? What do we do now?
I guess. Well, I promised Foxface over here that we would go do whatever he wanted to do.
Go on the boar hunt.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. What time is it, Jeremy?
It's I'd say about midday.
Okay.
Yeah, early afternoon.
So you want to go talk to Foxface and then go check out the lighthouse?
Yeah, sure.
Or do they have enough time to go to the academy, Jeremy? How far is that away?
The academy is in town. It's going to take some last minute researching, but I can.
We found the loop he wasn't prepared for.
So, why don't we split the party in town? You go to the academy, and I can go to the church.
Okay.
Because there's some like stuff that I want to do that I don't want anybody to.
All right.
You get what I'm saying?
To the academy, Musashi.
Well, To
with me?
Foxglove. To Foxglove.
Yeah, might as well. If he wants to be alone, I'll let him be alone.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna walk out of the room, and I'm gonna slap Aldrin on the back and say, "We have a mission, my friend."
Man, nobody wants to know about the academy.
Yes. Where we
Oh,
go?
I meant to ask you about that. I'm sorry. Why, Argus? Why don't you want to go to the academy?
Mm.
Yeah, do tell. I'm intrigued. You seem pretty adamant about this.
When I was younger, I worked with my family and we made golems. My father figured out that I was very adept with magics of nature and decided to send me to the academy. And some stuff happened with my family, and I was meant to go to the academy, and I ended up running away. The academy and that area brings back too many memories, so I refuse to go and step in. I am who I am because I refuse to go there.
Understandable.
Okay. I also want to ask Musashi. It's like, so, what's this about you? Your past taking out entire towns?
Well,
Sounds a little dark.
Maybe he's
Maybe
the
I
person
didn't-
you're looking for, Cordova.
Maybe I didn't catch that.
well, I didn't want to talk so much in front of authorities, but it's a very dark bit of my past that I've now partially become ashamed of. Once in my life, yeah, once in my life, I was a bright child that had a future, and that was taken from me. And I was led into what I thought was the righteous path to help the person that had saved my life. But unfortunately, that quickly turned into nightmarish hell. And a part of that hell, I became a tool for someone that ended up being very corrupt. But during this time of being a tool, I thought I was following everything towards my Lord and doing the right things to help, protect our, the governing areas that he covers over and his lands and everything. I thought I was protecting the citizens and whatnot. So at some point, my Lord would send me on missions to track down people that had attempted to assassinate him. So, as I said earlier, one of my methods that became very, very efficient and became one of my favorites was to have the person in jail and set it up where they had a chance to escape. And when they would escape, I would shoot them with an arrow, but not kill them, to slow them down. And then I would track them to the town that they would go to. And then eventually, when I got to the town, I would learn of all the people that was protecting this person that tried to assassinate my lord. And per the wishes of my lord in that, I made sure no one would ever see my lord again. So towns would disappear because of me. But, like I said, I thought I was protecting my lord and his lands from dissidents that were rising up to murder our rightful ruler in that. And that is where I hone my skills that you have seen and why I interrogate the way I do, because I got very good at it. And needless to say, that's not really the best of things that I've come to learn in the last couple of years. And I'm ashamed to say that I'm still trying to learn of good things to do versus not. But yes, I have much blood on my hands.
Cordova puts his hand on your shoulder and he's like, I believe that we should judge people not by the actions of the past, but what they are doing to redeem themselves. And I think that you're on the right path now. And he's going to look over at Argus and be like, oh, no, he's not done. He says, it sounds to me a lot like you were taking orders for your lord, perhaps not too different from Stimpy, our new goblin friend.
Yeah.
It's just something to think about instead of the desire to cut him down. I understand, but maybe you two aren't so different. No, as for
Y'all
Argus,
look back over your shoulder and you see Stimpy like just happily tossing pickles up in the air and catching them in his mouth, and he's like dancing in a circle. He's
I'm gonna lean in
excited,
close to
playful.
Musashi and be like, "That could be you."
I don't like pickles that much.
So he's to Argus. He's like, "You had a falling out with your family." That's
We can call it a falling out.
we can call it a falling out.
Because
Was it? It's far worse.
Do you want to know?
Do I?
I killed my family.
He's just outright with that one, huh?
I see I'm not so different.
No. Let me rephrase that. You kill to be killing. I killed my family by an accident.
That is true.
There's I have a brother. I had a brother and a sister, a mom and a dad. My family was a happy family when it was just me, my mom and dad, and my sister. I gotta remember their names. Hang on. You remember their names?
No, I don't.
My dad's name was William. My mom's name was Laura. My sister's name was Laura. No, my mom was Arlette and my sister was Laura.
Hold on. Say those again. I'm writing this down.
No, you don't have to.
I want to.
Oh, dad's name was William. Sister's name was Laura. Mom's name was Arlette.
Gotcha.
We were very, very rich. We lived in Magnamar. If you know anything about this area, Magnamar is very close to here. And we lived and we worked in a golem factory. And one day I decided to make a golem. And I didn't have to use other means like everybody else. I could just touch it and it would come to life. And I was making a golem and something happened and the building exploded, caught fire. I killed my family. That's why I won't go back to the academy, because they were expecting me, and I'll never go back towards Magnamar.
Argus, I'm sorry to hear that.
He just looks at you like it affects him, but it doesn't affect him in a way that you would think it would.
Yeah, and seeing that on his face, he's just like, my mother. I didn't know her myself. She was killed by an ogre when I was very young. And my father was, well, he meant a lot to me. And he's gone now. I don't know where he is. He was supposed to have traveled back with me, and I have lost him and everyone else, obviously. But I understand loss, and perhaps we have more in common than you think.
I think we do. And if you want to, you can press the subject a little bit more later on. And the accent's really kind of cool. Like, it's really neat. But
he's
now
just
is not the time.
Yeah, he's like... the whole I killed my family thing just brings the entire room down. So he's like,
well, accidents are accidents.
I understand why you won't go to the academy, and I certainly won't press you to do so. Musashi, are you with me?
Sure, why not?
Why
not?
I might as well learn something.
If you can.
Oh, trust me, I have learned many things.
You can't understand stuff in Druid, just so you know.
Oh, well, I need to learn then.
You can't learn it. It's so awesome.
All right.
So yeah, I'm gonna walk out, slap Alder in the back, and say, my friend, we have a mission.
Yes, where are we going?
Oh, you're not going. You stay. You can. Well, no, you can't follow me.
No. You're coming with me, Aldern. You're coming with me and Musashi here, and you're going to lead us to Tarandarak Academy.
Oh yes, I know where that is. It's right this way. And he just, yeah.
Hey, something happened to my token. It's very light.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know how to fix that.
What do you mean it's
very
very
light on
light?
this map. You're probably fine on the other maps.
Okay. Well, y'all are like dark. and I blend in with the stone.
Well, yours, it was also a different kind of token than theirs was. Like they found theirs, yours had to be photoshopped, so that might be part of the issue.
That is true. Artist
Deal.
looks at Sheriff Baylor.
Yeah. Belor is,
Fair treatment and a bed.
Yes, fine. How long should we keep your pet?
Until we come back here.
I'll be expecting boarding fees, He's not entirely serious.
I reach into my bag and I'm like, so you don't want this?
Oh, yeah. Oh, just give that to me. He takes it and he, gives you about 10 silvers. Thank you.
No, I don't want his money. my goblin friend stays. Fair, food, and bed.
Of course. Yes.
Or no more.
He looks at you and gives you this but fine. He goes back into his office and shuts the door.
You hear all the locks clicking.
Yeah.
All right then. What's next?
So, all right, y'all head out. As Musashi and Cordova are following Aldern down to the Tarandarok Academy, y'all are approached by the same, auburn-haired beauty that y'all found, that y'all saw in town earlier in the day, and she comes, running up to talk to y'all.
Hey, I'm getting something to drink.
Okay. Are y'all gonna stop and acknowledge her?
Yes.
Excuse
Cordova,
me, heroes.
Immediately.
Heroes.
Sure.
Cordova says, Shayless, I believe it is.
Yes. She blushes. You know my name?
I'll just put my hands resting on my sword, yes.
Says, your reputation precedes you.
Ooh.
But they've said nothing of your beauty.
Oh. Listen, I am in a great need of a hero.
The hero, you say?
I need a hero. Sorry, I had that stuck in my head.
I need one of you strapping young men to help me with a little problem that I have at the store. You see, we have a goblin in the basement. He must have gotten trapped in there during last night's raid, but Father's been so busy he won't listen to me. Can one of you come help me?
Am I with them?
Reaches out and kind of runs her finger on Musashi's armor.
I take a quick step back, holding the blade better. I will only help if you at least give me a towel to clean up the mess.
Somebody's after a towel.
Give her a good look.
I think we'll definitely need a towel.
Am I with them? I don't know.
You
Are we
said
still
you
walking
went
around the town?
You went the other way, didn't you?
Yeah, you went up towards the church, right? And they're going down towards the academy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to the lighthouse, then the academy. I'm sorry.
Well, well then y'all can be doing that, and you can be there. That's fine.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'll kind of look at her a little bit. So, tell me about this basement and this goblin and any information you have on it.
And I'm gonna lean in and be like, Shayless, you're in great hands here with Musashi. He's going to get you taken care of. I'm gonna head on to the academy if you've got this.
Actually, I might need your help with this.
Oh no, he's just a small goblin, and she grabs you by the hand. I don't think you'll have any trouble. He seems like a
no
one
touch.
hero kind of goblin.
Hang on a second.
Sense
I lean
motive.
in towards. Yeah, let's do the sense motive. I forgot about that one. Oops. I closed out my app for a second. I saw.
4. A sense motive of 4.
All right.
There's a goblin.
I think there's a goblin.
What's
She
your
seems totally legit to me, man.
what's your modifier?
0.
0.
It's 4.
Hang on. Let me re-pull up my app. I want to do one too because I don't like it that she grabbed my hand. Like I've ripped my hand away from her because I do not like being touched by women.
She's taking, she's taken aback.
Where is my? Okay, that one I do have a +1 on. Okay. Wrong thing. Do
you have a +1 on charisma?
Huh?
Okay.
Since motive, he may have put a point in it.
Since
Yeah,
motive's
I
a
put a
wisdom
point.
check.
Oh, damn it! I hit the wrong thing. What is it? /R?
Yeah.
17.
All right. Yeah, with that, there's no goblin. She's got ulterior motives, so she's definitely giving you looks.
Look at I lean over to Cordova and go, I think she's full of bullshit.
Cordova, you 100% believe her. There's a goblin in her basement.
If you're concerned, I'm totally fine with going to take care of the goblin myself. We're on completely different pages.
You and the goblin?
Do what?
No, I was making a joke about you're gonna go take care of the goblin. Like, you're gonna take care of the goblin?
Take care of the goblin.
Pulls out his mace.
I've got a very large mace. I can handle this.
You sure? You were naked as of yesterday.
That was. He leans. That's because of the time travel.
Ah. Let's see.
The clothes don't come with you. Have you ever seen Terminator?
Okay.
I fully believe there's a goblin there.
Alden leans in, what's a Terminator?
Alden, you're the Terminator.
Oh, Dennis knows
So,
yes.
I'll look back over it.
Musashi, I think you have to go, because if you don't go, Cordova's not gonna trust you anymore.
Oh, I totally understand that he has trepidations about people in general. So,
yeah.
Yes, I understand if he doesn't feel like he can handle a small goblin, but I'm sure Cordova here can.
No. What I was hoping to do is not get blood all over myself and capture the little shit so we could potentially use it for something else. And maybe our friend Argus can get some more information out of him. Because apparently cutting him doesn't seem to work.
I really don't think it'll take more than one of you. And she's getting a little impatient.
Well, the ball's in your court. I'll handle this if you want to go and investigate the
Cordova.
Yes.
Why don't we go together? And if there's no goblin, I'll let you do or talk to the lady however you see fit.
I'm gonna look back to her like
she looks at the two of you and cocks her eyebrow and says, maybe it can be a 2-hero goblin.
I'll just raise my eyebrow, look at her weird, and then look back at Cordova being like, all right, let's just go together. Something doesn't seem right.
All right.
Has anybody tried to intimidate her for the truth? I mean, you don't think there's a goblin. He thinks he's a goblin.
I 100% believe her. So,
see, my slight intimidation was holding onto my swords, and she didn't bat an eye. Put it this way, my character is very clueless about sex because I never had a chance with that.
You think you're clueless?
You could have rolled. You can do an intimidation check with your hand on the sword, and I don't know. Maybe she'd tell you the truth.
All right, maybe
you can roll that. You can roll diplomacy too if you don't believe her.
Oh yeah, I forgot diplomacy.
You can do a lot of different rolls.
You're right. I forgot about diplomacy. I'll roll a diplomacy.
Okay.
I know I have a modifier on that one. Oh, I have it as one of my skills, but it's a -1.
You can still roll it though, but check your
Alright.
intimidation. Like maybe you can intimidate her into telling you the truth.
Well, I want to do diplomacy first, to try and be a nice guy, and then if she doesn't give me a good answer, then I'm gonna get a little pissed.
You're not enough.
There you go. I'm a little pissed. A 2 with a -1.
All right, she yeah, you frightened her. She
No, that was the diplomacy thing. That wasn't the intimidation.
well, yeah, your
Oh, yeah.
diplomacy failed critically.
Okay.
You frightened her, and she kind of starts to back away. Yeah, and she's well, do you still want to come with me? And she looks at Cordova,
He's like,
and and she's kind of shyly about to go.
I'm about to go.
Yeah.
He's like, Musashi, there's a goblin and a woman in need. I don't understand what's the holdup here.
What my holdup is I think she has alternative motives, because it doesn't sound like she's got a goblin. So then why is she hassling me?
All right. She throws her hands up in a huff. Fine. I'll deal with it later. And she stomps off in a
How
huff.
can she deal with it later? What is she gonna do?
Yeah, Cordova's very confused at all of the things that have just happened. He's just looking at you and then looking at her, like walking off, and looking at Alder and like, what the hell just happened? Stupid low roll, man.
I know.
All right.
That's my luck. I was hoping for a good roll, so
Alder,
that I could have. I was
do you know
hoping for the light bulb.
like, Alder, do you know where she lives?
Yes. She lives at
Perhaps
the
we
general
should
store.
perhaps we should stop by on the way back from the academy to make sure she's all right.
That's fine by me. But
Sounds wonderful.
why did she act so odd?
Like Cordova's like, I'll admit, Musashi, I don't have a lot of experience with we
Look,
call them surface dwellers.
Shayless is a bit promiscuous, if you must know. She
Oh,
yes, Vin has been quite preoccupied lately with the goings-on of his daughter Katrine, and her love of her infatuation with a young man who works at the sawmill. But his distraction has left Shayless a little unguarded.
oh. I am not used to them out in the open. Normally, there's a district for those kind of people. I apologize.
Are you saying there's no goblin?
Oh, that I don't know. It very well may be a goblin.
Put it this way: if there was truly a goblin in her house, most people I know wouldn't have come up all happy and cheery. Most people would be screaming and running. I sense no fear from her.
It's truly so much to learn in this world. Let's just press on.
If you say she is promiscuous, I think I figured out what she wanted. And Cordova, she's all yours.
We'll stop by after the academy.
So as y'all go on, are y'all heading to the old light or?
No, we were headed to the academy, I thought first, or did I get that backwards?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go to the academy.
We can just meet at the old light if you want.
Yeah, after the academy. Sure.
All right. So y'all head to the academy, and Argus is going. Where?
I'm going to the church.
All right.
But I want to go to the biggest, most prominent tree that's here.
Okay, do Argus's thing. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's
Do I
see.
need to roll like a perception or anything?
No, I need to roll look at the map and see if I can see anything specific. No, we'll say up here, in the north part of town, right here. We'll say that's
My map's still loading.
oh, okay,
Okay, it's loaded. Where?
right here. We'll say that's a massive,
Okay. Where?
Massive tree. Okay.
massive tree.
Oh, okay, over
Yeah.
there.
So if they're a little north of the church.
So and it's just him and Stompy, right? Or
Hmm?
Stump. What's my dinosaur's name? Stumpy.
Stompy.
Stompy.
Stompy. Okay. So we go to the tree. He puts his hand on Stompy. It looks like our quest is going to have to wait, my buddy.
Excuse me.
But I think this tree will be fine for right now. And he pulls out a little pouch, and there's like a hollow in the tree, and he places it in the tree. I'll be back for you, my friend. And now he heads to the church.
All right. You get to the church, and the church is abuzz with activity, having just done their opening ceremony a few hours earlier. There are, dozens, maybe even 100 or more patrons moving around, looking at the altars, checking out the standing stones in the middle. What you doing?
Is there anybody besides Father Xanthus that would know about the first fire that's there and that holds like a high rank?
I mean,
I
yeah, I
want
mean,
to talk to Father Xanthus, but I'm sure like he's busy.
yeah.
So if there's anybody else I can talk to until he's unbusy.
Okay, actually, what you do see, because he was just there giving a little bit of a talk. Brodert Quink is there, and he's known as the town historian.
What's his name?
Brodert Quink.
Can you spell it for me?
Brodert.
E-E-R-D. Spell his last name.
Dert.
Oh,
Brodert.
D-E-R-T.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Quink.
And his last name?
Quink.
And he's historian.
Yeah, he's a local historian.
Okay.
He can give you a lot of backstory stuff.
So I walk up to him and I introduce myself. Hello, my friend. My name is Argus. I'm pretty sure you've seen me around here before.
Yes, it's nice to meet you.
And who are you?
I'm Brodert Quink. I run the Sage in town.
Oh, so you're a history friend.
Say again?
You're a historian, my friend.
Yes.
What do you know about the first fire of the cathedral?
I know that the fire was started sometime late in the evening, late at night rather, while most people were asleep. It occurred just shortly after the Chopper's reign of terror, and the town had barely recovered from that.
what?
You see,
I'm
Chopper.
sorry, sir.
Can you understand what I'm saying, or is my mic not picking up very well?
No, I heard chopper.
Yeah.
Is
The
that
chopper.
another name? And what is a chopper, my friend?
Do you do not know about the Chopper, about Jarvis Stute?
I do not.
Jarvis was a local painter. You see, I mean not painter, a local carver. You see, he. Give me 2 seconds. 3. Oh wait, no, it's actually right here. Hold on. All right, there we go. Jarvis Stute was a local artist who lived in Sandpoint for many years. He gained a reputation as a bit of an eccentric, because when he began his one-man crusade to carve depictions of birds on every building in town, that's why. Okay, he was an eccentric because he began a one-man crusade to carve depictions of birds on every building in town. You see, he would never make a carving without permission. He had incredible skill of wood carving, but you see, he picked his buildings particularly. If he saw a building he liked for or would post that he could free a bird from, then he would get to work, and soon sporting astute became somewhat of a bragging point in town. Jervis began to extend his
So you're telling me this man went around to buildings and carved birds in them, and it was like a standing? Like you had this bird carved on your building, and you were like super special.
It didn't make you super special. It was just it was a bragging point on your home or whatever.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like it was important. It was people would want to come there because you had this beautiful carving.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You see, he would wander the streets and find hidden birds in steeples and door frames, and yes, I remember once that Lunchku Kaijitsu asked him to carve some matching birds in the door frame of the glassworks, and Jervis just told him, "There ain't no birds in that wood for me to set free." He really was quite a jolly fellow to have around for some time, but he had a little bit of a breaking point, I guess. See, Jarvis eventually moved on to the island you see out there just off the coast, where he could be with the birds more. And we think his isolation maybe led to some mental problems. You see, Sandpoint was no stranger to crime. I mean, we had robberies and crimes of passion and jealousy, but sometime around 4702, bodies began piling up around town, and initially we had no idea how to react. Sandpoint sheriff at the time was a man named Cass Baverton, a retired city watch from Magnamar, and he was ill-prepared for a murderer in town.
I'm sorry, my friend. We must slow down. I'm not used to your dialect. What was the sheriff's name?
Casp Averton. Sorry, my nose is getting stuffed up, so things are starting.
Casp Averton?
Casp. C-A-S-P.
Casp Averton.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and he was the sheriff in 4702.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, he was ill-prepared for the murderer who came to be known as the Chopper. Over the course of a long month, it seemed that every day a new victim would come to light. Bodies bearing deep cuts in the neck and torso, and hands and feet severed and stacked nearby. The eyes and tongue missing entirely, having been plucked crudely from each head.
So these bodies were dismembered?
Yes.
Okay.
Over the course of the month, the Chopper claimed 25 victims.
And you're saying that the Chopper was Jarvis?
Yes, he was quite uncanny at eluding traps and pursuit. But one night...
How did Jarvis do the fire?
No, you asked about the Chopper. I just said it was shortly after the Chopper's killings, you see.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought
you asked questions. I got information for you. I'm going to go straight into it.
No, that's fine. I thought you were telling me that the Chopper set the fire to hide bodies. So,
no, I'm sorry. It happened
started
sometime after, shortly, maybe some months, some 2 or 3 months after the Chopper was ended.
So once the Chopper was ended, did the bodies stop?
Yes, the bodies stopped. The Chopper's last victim was the captain himself, Casp, and
okay.
Yes.
So the Chopper has nothing to do with the fire, except for the fire started after he was.
Well, that's a time that we tend to lump several events together. That's what's known in this area as the late unpleasantness. You happen to ask a very knowledgeable man about it. Most people won't talk to you about such a thing.
No. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend you. I was getting a
No.
little confused.
No, it's fine. This, the late unpleasantness was just a very hard time that included multiple suspicious deaths, the victims of the chopper, and of course it ended. The penultimate was the fire that claimed the lives of many and several buildings around town.
So you seem to know a lot, and it seems like all these events linked together.
Simply in time, sir. That's all it.
So I'm going to
Yes.
be a little bit more direct. I might come back to you and talk to you more, but I just have a specific question, and it concerns fire specifically. And I'm sorry I got off topic. This chopper guy just seems very interesting. Where
Oh yes, very fascinating.
where in the cathedral did the fire start? Do you know?
Oh yes, the fire seemed to start in the living quarters. You see, towards the southeastern corner of the cathedral, the living quarters.
And whose living quarters were they? Like, were they specific? Were they just bunks for acolytes and stuff like that?
Yes, several acolytes, those who didn't own a home in town, servants, and Father Tobin, his daughter.
And his daughter was Nalia, correct?
Yes, Nualia.
Nualia. I'm sorry. Sandpoint's dialect is very hard for me.
Yes,
I don't know why
it's almost as if people talk while holding their nose.
Yeah, I see that. I was born in Magmar. You'd think I would learn it already, but So the fire started in the living quarter. Did she live in that living quarter?
Yes.
And nothing was ever found of hers, correct?
Correct. There were a few corpses that were burned beyond recognition, and we assumed them to be other acolytes. But amongst her bedroom, no, we found nothing but ash that had burnt even through the soil. I mean, fire that had burnt even through the soil.
And was anything used? Could you tell if anything was used to start the fire? Was a candle knocked over, or a lantern built?
Hey.
Yes.
I gotta go. My air conditioner's like leaking water out here.
Oh shit.
I gotta go figure this out. But I would have to go in like 10 minutes anyway. But
All right.
finish up with Casey's thing at least.
Yeah.
And I'll catch up with that later. I'll listen back to it.
Okay.
All right.
I'll catch you guys later.
Okay. I'll try to at least get at a couple questions at the school for you, Josh. Anything you might have. All right. What was I saying?
I asked if they could tell if like any accelerant or anything was used for the fire since it burned so fast. They said.
There did not seem to be any accelerant other than we believe it was started by a lantern or a candle. I mean, you see, the old chapel was made of wood, and not sturdy stone like this wonderful monument that we have here.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. Okay.
Yes.
And then going back to the chopper.
Yes.
Just a question. You said that the body stopped when he was caught or killed.
Yes, he was killed.
For a fact, we know that it was Jarvis. It couldn't have been anybody else. Like.
Oh well.
Are there any more speculations around it? If it could have been anybody else, or is it like for sure Jarvis?
You see, he was caught red-handed. See, the sheriff found Jervis chopping up a body in a narrow lane that has now become known as Chopper's Alley. And when the sheriff tried to stop him, tried to attack him, the battle that followed killed Sheriff Averton and mortally wounded Jervis Stute.
And was anybody? So nobody had a chance to question him because he was mortally wounded. So we don't know why he was doing it. We just know maybe he went crazy from living on the island.
Yes, we do not know why he was doing this, no. We know Bello Hemlock and a contingent of guards followed the trail of blood back to Stoot's cabin, where they found all of the eyes and tongues of all of the victims displayed in some kind of horrific altar to a vile demon lord of creatures.
Do you know the demon's name?
I do not know myself. I might have to. I need to check some documents. I don't remember, but I need to check some documents.
Because you don't remember, it's not like I need to ask Father Xanthius. Like,
right.
Okay. Can you retcon and give me that information later?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you tell me if I'm chasing down the wrong path or anything. I'm thinking that the chopper and maybe Nualia had something going on together. That was going to be my next question. Like,
they did not, and it was Lamashtu.
And it was Lamashtu?
Lamashtu, yes.
Okay. Can you spell that?
Lamashtu. Lamashtu. There we go. Lamash.
I got it. T-U.
There we go.
Okay. So this is where my other knowledge comes in at. Okay. So the chopper is sitting here killing people and doing the sacrifice or ritual to Lamashtu, who is a demon.
Yeah.
Okay. We're about the fire. We know that it started in the living quarters, which was southeastern. Nualia was in the living quarters. She stayed in those living quarters, and y'all think it was like a lantern or a candle or something like that, correct?
Right.
And would Nualia know Jarvis?
I wouldn't think so.
Okay, so there's no.
I mean, no more than everybody knew Jarvis. Yeah, he was an eccentric older man in town. She was, a young teen, early 20s. Yeah.
Okay.
She was young.
Thank you. Was it Brodert?
Brodert, yes.
Yeah, thank you for your information. Where do you live? If I have more questions,
You're
very knowledgeable about history of Sandpoint.
I live in my shop in the Sage, right here in town.
Okay. Oh, can I ask you one more question?
Anything.
What do you know about the founding family? The what were they? I don't have their last name right down.
Kaijitsus.
Yeah, what do you know about the Kaijitsus?
Oh, I know much.
You know much?
Yes, the Kaijitsus are one of 4 founding families. The founding families are the Kaijitsus, they're glass makers. The Valdemars, they're the shipbuilders. It's Valdemars.
I'm not worried. I'm gonna go back. I forgot that.
The Scarnettis, they're loggers, and the Deverins, who were farmers and brewers, and now they are fairly consistently the mayors of this town. But
who would you say the most relevant founding family?
Oh, they've all been rather important. The Scarnettis have been very integral in building wealth for the town, and of course the Kaijitsus, without the income from the glassworks, we'd have been nothing. The Deverins, they lead us. All work together. They've formed the first mercantile league.
Okay.
Yes.
But so if the Kaijutsu shut their glassworks down, then this town would be in trouble, correct?
Yes, I believe we would suffer greatly.
Okay. And the Mrs. Kaijitsu.
Atsui? Yes.
Yes. She had an affair?
Ah, yes. Yes, that is a rather contentious bit of news for Longiku himself. He I don't believe he ever forgave her, you see.
And then after the affair, you had the brother.
Right. Suto was the first child of Atsu. Yes,
The
he's the
affair
elder.
happened before Amiko was born.
Correct.
And how was the relationship between Mr. Kaijitsu and Tessa or whatever?
Suto?
Yeah, Sudo.
Largely, Logiku did not want to acknowledge the boy's existence. He treated him badly and eventually sent him to live at the Turandarok Academy.
And
Once Atsui passed, there was a bad falling out where it's said that Longiku struck Suto with his cane, and Suto fled town and has not been seen around since.
And then Mrs. Kaijitsu
Yes.
committed suicide. How soon was that? Was that after the fight with Sudo?
Oh no. The fight with Suto happened at the funeral, you see. Or shortly after the funeral. She died in early in the rash of deaths and suicides that started off the late unpleasantness.
And everybody thinks no one ever thought it could have been Mr. Kaijitsu killed her by pushing her out a window. Everybody just says it was suicide.
Oh, now that has been a rumor around town occasionally. It whispered on some lips, but not loudly enough for Longiku to hear. It's never been founded, but it has been mentioned.
What about Sedivus? Think it's true?
Suto was the loudest proponent of all. But you see, he lived at the Turandarok Academy at the time, so he is no more valuable a witness than anyone else.
Okay. And I think that covers everything except for Amiko, which we'll get from Amiko. Well, thank you, my friend.
Yes, Amiko and her father have as well had a falling out. Amiko's, yes, he does not approve of her ways. You see, she left town and struck out on adventure. Yes, and then when she came back following the death of her mother, she opened the tavern, and her father says that is hardly woman's work. He's fond of telling anyone who'll listen that she's a disappointment to him.
So he doesn't get along with any of his kids.
No. If there's one thing that Longiku is known for, it's his temper and his distaste for his children.
Now, why did your voice change?
I don't know, because I'm sick.
Wait a minute. He's lying.
Anything that you can think of, Josh, that might...
Well, I'm not there, so I can't really...
No, I know. Just, this is me and you talking about game. Like, I'm kind of covered everything that I can think of. But I still want to talk to Father Xanthus. Well,
yeah,
thank you, my friend.
Yeah, now that I can come up with so many names.
Yeah. I see Father Xanthus. Excuse me. Thank you.
All right, and we will cut to Musashi at the academy real quick. If you have anything you say there. I know it's kind of Devin's idea, but
well, I was gonna say I thought Devin was with me, so I'd almost wait for next time.
Let's plan next Sunday, 7:00.
Okay. Yeah, I figured since Devin's supposed to be with me, I might as well have him here, a part of whatever we have going on.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And I kind of want to get his reaction to me, basically cock-blocking him.
I do want to point out that Like, when I got on and I said that I have, a lot of ways tonight can go. I have 3 different, encounters prepped for us,
Mm-hmm.
and a whole bunch of information that can be dumped.
Yep, that was one of them.
Well, I mean, yeah, the bit about the chopper, I actually wrote that probably a month ago. We got into nothing that I wrote for today's session.
Nice.
Well, I mean,
love
I
this game.
started facing it because it kind of fits with my story that I was thinking.
Yeah. This is good though. Like, I mean, we're the next session. I think I'm gonna kind of push it to be a little encounter heavy because we have to get through at least 2 encounters. There's one more that's kind of a bonus that I don't know if y'all are actually gonna do it or not. But yeah, we have to get through at least a couple encounters and push on into the story.
Yep. Well,
But
what was kind of
I
funny
also-
is the encounter with the girl didn't go the way I wanted to because, one, the bad roll. But I was trying to push Corvus to go with me anyways so we could catch her in a lie and then find out what was really happening and that whole scenario. But then
Yeah.
it never worked out.
Yeah.
all
Well,
I'm saying
I'll
is-
let you know this in the book. That is written that if y'all try to go multiple of you, like, she will just give up and go. She only wants one person to come with her.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So, like,
Well,
she's
my character, that wouldn't happen because I don't trust women because of the one I had.
well, to my plan was to put that on Cthulhu. Because, like, I actually, with Bennett, I thought I had an idea of where it would go. We're still recording. But with Bennett, I had an idea
Cut that
of
out.
where I thought it would go, but he's not here tonight. So,
Yeah.
it was like, all right.
Oh, there's still a chance.
Yeah.
I think, like, when we get back on Sunday, we should talk about going and visiting this Glassworks place. It was mentioned way too many times.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, just write a note because I have a bad memory.
No, I have tons of notes, but what I was
See-
chasing down with this chopper didn't link what I wanted it to together.
Uh-huh.
What are you trying to get it to link together?
To prove to prove my point of Nalia not being a nice person. And
Okay.
if you have this chopper and Nalia linked together, you have somebody doing a ritual sacrifice to a demon. But Nalia didn't know him except for knowing that he carved birds. But I'm also confused on a part to where he turned down one of the main founding fathers by saying, "There's no birds in there."
Well, yeah, that was
Like that's
that
like
was,
somebody you wouldn't turn down, you know?
yeah. Well, I mean, that's just who Jervis Stute was. Like, he's
Okay.
like,
So I'm reading too
Yeah.
much into it.
yeah, like that part. Yeah. The main point of Chopper and all this is to set a point that at that
At
year,
this point
at
in
that
time, there's
time,
so much bad shit going on.
yeah, like,
Okay.
that is an especially bad moment in time that y'all can dig into that. Like, there's a reason for it. Yeah, and that's letting y'all know that this is when something bad happened in town.
But
5 years ago, 4702.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, bad damn times. So
it did bring up a demon. Like, I'm trying not to, Jeremy. I'm really, really trying not to.
not to
'Cause
just
I
spill
know,
anything.
yeah, I know